We're here today with the producer of the new short film Unsociably Social that has everyone talking. We're here today to talk about what you've learned from your audience feedback. So Laura, what feedback have you conducted throughout the construction of your moving image production?
Well, we conducted two types of audience feedback, mainly to gain what the audience thought about our production. We conducted a questionnaire for our visual storyboard, which is mainly based on images and sound, and then we also conducted a questionnaire on our rough cut once we aired it, just before we'd finished our actual piece. Our storyboard questionnaire included questions such as, was the narrative of the storyboard clear, and would this make you want to watch the final production? This was just to mainly get an idea of what the audience thought of our narrative and ideas before we actually put it into construction. We basically did a questionnaire for our rough cut to just get an audience's opinion on what they thought and any last minute changes. The content of the rough cut was a lot more in depth because there was a lot more to judge it on. For example, in the questionnaire there was a space where the audience could rate specific parts such as the pace and the music and the acting.
Why did you conduct this research?
Well, like I said, it gives the audience a time to comment back on bad and good parts of the piece. I'm going to use a rough cut as an example because I feel that was more beneficial than the actual storyboard itself. For example, a lot of people said that they thought we'd benefit from a voiceover in the actual production. We also received constructive criticism on lighting because some of our shots were too dark, because you can't always see it on a smaller screen, and when we went in to actually air it and it was in a big screen in a dark room, you could tell that the brightness wasn't great, so that was something we had to change.
What did you mainly want to find out from your audience feedback?
We just wanted to get a taste of the views of the audience and what they liked and what they didn't like, what worked and what we succeeded in, basically.
What changes did you make based on the feedback you gained?
The main major change we made on the feedback was the voiceover. Originally we weren't going to include a voiceover at all. We were just going to leave it silent with no speech, just music and sound effects. But then just before we aired, we did watch it once and we thought that it was missing something, but we'd already created the questionnaire for the rough cut. So when we went in, we just said right at the bottom of the questionnaire whether you think the story would benefit from a voiceover, and it turned out that the majority of people did think that we would. So that is something we looked into, and obviously we had to change the brightness of some of our shots because they were almost invisible.
Did you ignore anything that was suggested in the feedback?
There wasn't really anything that wasn't constructive in our feedback. We took everything into consideration because we wanted a person who hasn't watched it. We wanted their view and their opinion on our storyboard. So we took everything on board, and I think we worked with everything we were given.
Okay, well, it was nice speaking to you, Laura.
Thanks.